gentlemen, boys and girls, my name is Kobe Whitetown, introducing MG Fifth for our interview, and alongside of my shadows, Mr. Amazing Rome and Miss Estelle, Reese Money, and behind me you can obviously see that I have my co-workers, my higher-ups, would be Michael Gage and Dr. Huncho and Miss K. Could Miss Estelle read my no, I apologize. Yeah. MG, could you throw up your 20 macros? Yes. Thank you. You're all correct. Miss Estelle, could you read the MD rules? No, the HP rules.
Do not escape patients in streets around the hospital, PFP zones, or army base. No attending PVP territory without rank 7+. Do not treat patients with weapons drawn. Do not stand or sell on the main floor lobby. Do not stand on any bash or surrounding hospital areas to chill or take breaks. Ride around in the city or to floor 2 if unoccupied, or to cafeteria instead. Do not go to AFK while on duty. That will lead to punishment, 3-day ban, demotion, and funds reset. Do not be respectful to patients or colleagues. Punishment, immediate dismissal. No combat fighting whatsoever. Break away and run if you cannot /help RP4. Desk rules: max 2 staff per desk. Rank order: brown, maroon, blue, white, and green. Up to 3 may line up in the hallway. Same rank order: brown, maroon, blue, white, and green. The wait time protocol: over 5 minutes go on emergency calls or med deliveries. Under 5 minutes wait in the cafeteria, please. The entry 6+ only from parking, rank 7+ only. Do not spawn on the bus without DCP or CP permission. Radio checks are mandatory. You must respond using 10-4 copy macro.
Alright, those are your HP rules. I am going to read the MD rules for you first, and then I'm going to read your RP rules next. Your MD rated. MD1, refusal to provide medical assistance. Refusing to provide medical assistance, including performing CPR or giving meds without a justified RP reason, as long as there is no threat to the medic's life, including situations when armed players are present at the scene. Punishment: 1 reprimand from faction leadership. MD2, providing medical aid during dangerous situations. Selling medication, or resuscitating players in situations that threaten the life and health of both medic and the player, including but not limited to during an escalated conflict, an active shootout, a turf war, etc. Punishment: 1 warning from faction leadership. MD3, complying with project rules. Medical personnel are required to comply with all established project rules. Punishment: from 1 warning to 1 reprimand from faction leadership. MD4, improper roleplay behavior. Failure to adhere to roleplaying when interacting with players while providing medical assistance or communicating with faction leadership. Colleagues: One warning from faction leadership is your punishment. ND 4.1 disrespectful behavior. Disrespectful behavior towards any player. Punishment, reprimand, or dismissal at the discretion of the faction leadership. Non-compliance order is 4.2. Failure to comply with leadership's orders or to absorb the chain of command within the faction. One reprimand from faction leadership. Okay, the next three rules are very important. They will get you automatically fired. MD 4.3. Oh, I lost the rules. Give me a second. Almost there. MD 4.3 is I'm sorry, hold on, guys. I got it. 4.3. Assault on civilians. Assaulting a civilian with a taser or fist without an RP reason. Punishment, dismissal from faction. MD5. Use of weapons. Medical personnel are strictly forbidden from using any weapons. Punishment, dismissal from the faction. MD6. Criminal activity. Intentionally associating with gangs, committing major crimes, including but not limited to theft, vandalism, murder, or joining factions during activities where medic participation is not intended. Punishment, dismissal from faction. MD7, use of service vehicles for personal use. Using official medical transportation for personal travel when on duty, including for civilian jobs. Punishment, one warning from faction leadership. MD1, use of personal vehicles. Using personal vehicles instead of service vehicles to perform faction duties. Punishment, one warning from faction leadership. MD8, unauthorizing issuing of recovery notes. Issuing medical certificates outside of hospital, including medical certificates for compensatory reasons. Monetary compensation. One warning from faction leadership. Those are your MD rules. MD rules?
Yes, sir.
Okay, next are your RP rules. These are your rules. They're RP 13, 14, 15, and 16. RP 13. NRP faction action. Violating role-playing conduct within the faction, including the release of players from jail, punishment, dismissal from faction, and or 30 minutes in jail, and or it could be up to a 3-day ban. RP 14. Sexual harassment. Any form of sexual actions, including stimulation, explicit dialogue or action, the use of ethnic and or LGBTQIA plus slurs, stalking other players, or excessive verbal details in description with sexual undertones. All sexual actions between players must be performed with the prior consent of all participating individuals. Even with prior consent, role-playing actions must not take place in a public area. Even with prior consent, such role-playing actions must not take place in public areas or areas frequently visited by other players, including but not limited to jail, hospital, job zones, parking lots, etc. Punishment, 60 minutes mute of voice and text chat, or an account ban ranging from 24 hours or up to 30 days. RP 15. Provoking faction members. Intentionally provoking of any faction for entertainment or with the intent of disrupting faction's operation. Punishment is 30 minutes in jail. RP 16. Criminal acts against emergency personnel. Any criminal acts committed against emergency personnel as punishment is from 90 days in jail or it's up to a 12-hour ban. Do you understand the RP rules?
Yes.
Alright, Mr. Cody.
Thank you, my supervisor, Michael Gage. I will conduct 2 questions, then I will pass it on to Ms. Estelle to follow up on her 2 questions. After them, they will go to Reese for his 2 questions, then Amazing for his 2 questions, and Ms. Cassie for her 2 questions. That'll follow up with a round of 10 questions. So my first question would be, what made you want to become a medic throughout every faction? What brought you to the medical office?
Well, I came to medic because I definitely didn't want to be a gangster, and I didn't want to join the police academy.
Lovely, lovely. I appreciate that. My second question, what do you think you can bring to the medical faction as far as any, ability?
I mean, I'm a helpful person. I get along with everybody. I don't mind doing things, so I'm easy to get along with. So
Okay.
I'm able to offer my services.
I love the answer. Okay, that would be my two questions, Mr. Steele. Would you follow up with the two?
Thank you. So my first question, how do you provide friendly care while staying professional?
Can you repeat that again?
Sure. How do you handle multiple patients asking questions at once, let's say?
Well, I would just answer one question by one. As far as I go, I can't really talk to everybody at the same time.
That's good. And what days of the week can you spend on the bus?
Repeat that. You said what?
What day of the week can you spend on the bus?
What day of the week can I respond on the bus? My schedule is free. I basically could do it any day.
Actually, no, you cannot do it. It's against the rules.
I have to ask permission before I respond on the bus, right?
Yes, exactly.
All right.
And these are my two questions. Thank you.
Reed, you got the floor.
Alright, if you were on your way to work, like you just started the game and you were driving from your apartment or you were just driving to the hospital and you know there's someone injured, how would you approach the situation?
Well, first I would display my 4 micros saying hello, my name, saying please remain calm, clear, so I can work efficiently and quickly. I will also write begin assessing patient vital signs, then do apply first aid kit. An aid kit. I display my 5th micro, which would be administering medication to the patient, and then I would give them a med kit.
That's a great way to follow through on patient care, but make sure that you're providing services when you're actually on the clock, doing EMS, responding, or doing like the supply delivery co-op jobs where you're responding to emergency calls.
All right, so
If it's in your personal vehicle, you don't want to provide services when you're not in a company vehicle.
all right, no, they got you.
You know, that we have people out here injured to see if we have EMS people already responding to calls, but you will want to go into work first and then take on those responsibilities.
All right, I got you.
Second question, let's say your friend, you're off the clock and you have a friend that wants to see the new update on the garage. Would be a
No, it's not acceptable.
okay. And are you aware that that is the only way to enter and exit out of the building?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay, Mr. Amazing.
Yeah, I'm here. All right, hey, how you doing, Mr. Fifth?
Well,
I'm doing well. All right, so my first question is, a patient is refusing treatment but appears seriously injured. what would you do?
I'm not sure. I never heard that question before.
That's fine. That's fine. So if they, refusing, like, hey, leave me alone, or all of that in real world scenario, if they refuse, normally they would have to sign off saying, yeah, they refuse. Obviously, they can't sign in the game. Then all you'd have to do, make sure you have your body cam on, and all that will be documented that they say they don't want treatment, and then you just, go ahead and leave the scene.
All right.
All right, so my second question is, if you witness another player breaking server rules, what would you do?
Not sure. Would I just radio that in? Or call PD?
Well, personally, I'm going to keep it P with you. That player, I would, have that communication with them, let them know, like, hey, that's against server rule, and if you see it happen again, then that's when you can, escalate it with chain of command.
All right.
All right, yeah, that's my two questions.
Thank you, Mr. Amazing. Miss Cassie.
Hey, Mr. Fifth, how you doing?
How you doing, Cassie?
I'm well. I only got two simple questions. My first question is, do you know the rank order when working at the desk?
I have it in my Discord. I have it in my Discord.
All right, so say if it's a green scrub and I was to walk up at the desk, who would have to move?
The green scrub would have to move because you're higher ranked.
All right, appreciate you. And then my next question is, when giving out meds at the front desk, who do you not serve? Well, not who do you not serve, when do you not serve?
I never heard that. What I do at the front desk.
All right, when I'm saying, let me rephrase. When working at the front desk, what do the parties have to put away in order to serve them medication?
Their weapons.
Those are the only questions that I have.
Thank you, Miss Cassie. MG Fifth, do you have any questions for us?
No, sir.
I do want to add some information to Cassie made. You also want to